This is my Boxster GTS, and under the door is a plastic, somewhat cheap reflector, but it could also be a light, a puddle light. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the reflector with a light. Hello everyone, welcome to Project 981, welcome back to the channel. Welcome indeed to my Boxster GTS driver's door. Now, if you're going to buy a Porsche new, I highly recommend ticking the interior lighting package. It has a couple of different names, but basically adds much more ambiance, more bulbs, more light, more illumination. I've had it in previous Porsches. I don't have it in this car, and I kind of miss it because it's pretty good. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to replace this passive plastic reflector here, which is doing nothing more than showing other cars that my door's open, with the OEM puddle light. Still got a reflector, has a lens and a bulb, and just will illuminate the general area and is a little bit more desirable. Quite easy to install, requires adding an extra bit of wiring loom and plugging this in, and then coding it in the ECU, effectively the ECU for the car. That's going to be the second half of the video. The first half of the video is me putting this in, taking the door card off to access the back of the panel, adding a third-party wiring loom, plugging it all in, and then putting the door card back on. Now, I've done a separate video about the door card, so if you want to see how to take the door card off and on in more detail, go and check that out, but I'll do it briefly in this one. But the main aim is to get this in, plugged in, and then enabled. So the clever thing about Porsche's door card design is that it's not dependent on a whole load of fiddly screws and fastenings to support the panel on the door. The weight of this is actually held in place by a series of cups and hooks that are moulded into the back of this. The screws that we need to take out, they simply do the job of securing the whole thing in place once those hooks and cups are doing their job. Now, the screws sit behind a couple of bits of trim. That's the first thing we need to remove, so let's have a look at those. So there's 4 screws and there's 4 bits of trim you need to remove to get to the screws. Well, actually, you don't need to remove 4, you need to remove 3, but there's a 4th we have to take out. The first piece is this end blanking plate here. The second piece is a very small fillet sitting inside the door there. The third piece is this larger moulding, the bit that says airbag here. And there's 2 screws, one there, one there. And the last piece, which doesn't have a screw behind it, but we have to take off, is this little triangle fillet, which just does the job of filling in the gap of the wing mirror, behind the wing mirror. So this is my puddle light video rather than my door card removal video. If you want to find out more about removing the door card on your car, check out my separate video on that. There's a link in the description. Suffice it to say, it's actually quite an easy job. The whole thing comes off in one piece. And once you've taken it off, you've got access to the back of it, and we can start to wire in the extra loom necessary to add the puddle lights, which is what I'm going to do next. So let's take a look at that. And then release the barrel at the end. And that is literally the door card off the door. That's the wiring for the various bits on my car. There's the back of the speaker baffle, not the speakers itself, the back of the storage, which is in there, with the sort of the spring mechanism for closing that, one on the other side. That's the reflector. Watch my puddle light video for getting that out. And that's pretty much it, really. Here it is, it's pretty straightforward. In fact, the kit is actually just the 2 wires with their specific plugs and various finished ends of earth and live. I then bought 2 OEM puddle lights, so here's one, and what I've also done is chosen to replace the standard filament bulb with an LED bulb equivalent, which goes in there. So that will then replace, you can see where that goes, the reflector, and would then illuminate the ground underneath it. So the job is to take the door card off, that plugs into the back of there, and then we have to wire that into one of the available sockets in the loom on the inside of the door, hence taking the door card off, and then we have to code it up. And if you've watched my free Porsche lunch video, you'll know that there's some options we can code. We need to code up the door controller, as I said a moment ago, to enable those lights to come on, to tell the car to illuminate, power up that circuit. Okay, so I've come indoors for this bit because it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit chilly outside. So I've popped out the reflector. It's just got the 4 little points of contact. It really is a simple thing that's come out. And here's the puddle light, which has the same, ostensibly the same profile, which is why it fits in. It has a slightly different mechanism for 2-sprung clips, but will slide into the same slot on the door card. Now, when you buy one of these as a replacement, it comes with an incandescent bulb like that, which is perfectly fine. I think that's rated at 5 watts. Yes, it is, but it's quite a warm light. Incandescent bulbs generally are warm being colour temperature. So I'm replacing it with an LED equivalent that just pushes in, which will give a whiter and slightly brighter light. And also because this little LED device is all the way around it, it'll reflect out and down simultaneously. So that goes back in there, and we can then turn that to the closed position, and that then is ready to go in to the door card. Here's the underside of the door card, and you can see the profile of the gap that the puddle light needs to go in. I've got the door card on a cushion to avoid damaging the underside, the Alcantara leather side, but that basically fits up into, there we go, fits up into there. So I'll pop that in now. So the wiring is all now done, and I've installed the loom. So what I've done is add an extra live and earth red and brown into this plug here, and that adds a second line, which I've effectively sort of chased down the OEM loom across the bottom here. A couple of bits of sort of self-adhesive, self-gripping Velcro straps, threaded up here, split it off here down through a sort of channel that suggests that that's where it would be, where it originally fitted as new. Just tucked it up underneath the back of this piece here, along the top of the outer side of the opening little glove box bits, little zippy tie, sticky zippy tie there, and then it's now plugged in to the back of the new puddle light, which is now sitting happily in the body of the door card. So that is ready to go back on. And yeah, just a quick look while we're here. What else can we see? Various stickers and some parts and bits and pieces. But I think the one that amuses me most is, there it is. I get the light 991. I mean, Porsche very clever at getting common parts across their cars. So this is the exact same piece, whether you've got a 911, a Boxster, or a Cayman. Oh, bit of flair there. Anyway, I think that proves the point. Very clever parts sharing, and what it means is that I can quite happily add in my light, and that's all good. So I am doubling up on jobs today, but what you need to know now is I've given the interior of that a clean. I've also, if you want to watch the other video, taken the speaker off and replaced the door check strap, which is down there. So that's been done, and that's all good and proper. So we've now got, I'm going to jump into the garage, because of course there's 2 doors and I need to do the job twice. I have now got 2 door cards that are ready to go back on, and I have tidied up the back sides of both, a bit of a clean and a hoover. I've also installed the puddle light. Just let that slide. You can see the puddle lights I've wired in, and added a second loom. A bit of cleaning around here, a bit of leather cream. You know, do it once, do it properly. Then this is the driver's door, but otherwise is exactly the same. So extra loom in, splitting there, running it down, puddle light, everything nice and clean. I need to just put a little bit of grease, or just work that grease back into the place where the barrel for the cable joins. Do that on both sides, and we'll start to get both of those back in. So door card back on the passenger side, and with those wiring looms installed, we can also then see that it's quite clever, isn't it? Doesn't look any different, does it? But actually, if you come up underneath, you can see it's now got a white lens, and we know that's all wired in, ready to be activated. So the next step for me is to get the car back to my local specialist who's got a PWIS system, and we will try and identify the module that controls the door lights and enable those so that when the door opens the lights come on. And with the extra brightness of the LED bulb and the multi-directional components of that, we should get a nice strong illumination rearwards, which is red, and then needless to say downwards, which will be white, to spot the puddles. So here we are, we've arrived at High Performance just after 9, and there's lots of bloody cars tucked away because it's the winter. Not always all about Porsches, little 458 there. And I've reversed the GTS in, and Bradley is just plugging in the PWIS system. We've got a plan of action, got my instructions. So what happens is you basically have a sophisticated switch which goes into the OBDCOCDBC thing, whatever that's called in there, and that connects to the back of the laptop, which is that. And then we variously work our way through the options. We're going to start in the engineering mode and see if we can get the GT3 map up. Right, so we are now thrashing our way through the light options. We're deep into a menu in engineering or development mode. Bradley's got a fantastic little app on his phone which you hold it up and it converts the German to English, and we found the warning light, door warning light, not active, and we're going to activate that. As Bradley's going to press the button, I'm going to come round and we're going to see if it comes on. Go ahead, Bradley. Does that work? Right. And it hasn't worked on this side. Okay. Which is curious, but we do know that this side worked. So now we've got to figure out what's going on. So some success. We have found the items in the menu, and we've got the driver's door. It's the UK right-hand side driver's door puddle light working, but for reasons which remain unclear, despite having carefully checked twice, the left-hand door puddle light nicht is not working, as you can see. We're going to just quickly check if the plug is correctly installed, but otherwise I'm going to take the door card off and check it all again, which is really boring. So sort of half success on that. So without worrying too much about this, I thought let's have a quick look and check that everything makes sense. Of course, let's pop this bit of trim off, which you'll be familiar with from earlier in the video, and I've just taken the socket out and checked it. It's all fine. It's back in carefully. I think that's all good and proper. And then I popped out the unit from down here to make sure that it was all plugged in. And it occurred to me, and you're probably thinking this already, you know what, it could just be the LED bulb. So I have taken the bulb from the side, which we know works, popped the cover off, taken the bulb out, which looks like that, and I have taken the bulb which we know works, and I have put it in the other door, and lo and behold, it works. So happy days, it is a faulty bulb. All I need to do is get another one, and that is now working, and I know the other side works. So we have got puddle lights, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, this project is almost at an end. Working puddle lights, good news. So this is, after all, a video about lights. So here we are. I'm on the driveway, I've got the car out of the garage. Let's turn the house light off, which is what is illuminating the scene at the moment. It's all going to get very dark. We do that, and the car now has got the barest of light available, just the overhead light on the console, which is hardly anything at all. So let's open the door. That should trigger a whole load of extra light. Yes, it does. There we go. So I don't have the extended lighting package, which is why I've done these extra bits. And you can see the footwell light. There it is, which I did earlier this year. That makes a nice little bit of extra illumination. You can literally see where you're putting your feet. And we do now have, let's put the door to its fullest extent, the puddle light. There it is. It's not it's not a great deal of a floodlight effect, and actually most of the spill light on the driveway is coming from the map lights up there. But this does have a good clear red lens, and if we just tip the camera up, you can see it does put some extra light down. So in fact there's some extra light in here which wasn't there before, so it does do a little bit of extra work. And then more usefully, genuinely, if you're parking the car on the street, it does now give us a nice active rearward sort of safety light. It's not strong, but it doesn't have to be. You can see that from quite some distance. And I will just nip round the other side of the car. This is one heck of a dark video. Open the other side. Passenger's door in the UK, driver's door in the US and on the continent. There's the other light. Having figured out how the bulbs go in, how they all work, and we do now have a lot more ambiance. There's the other footwell light, just hidden down by the power socket. So all in all, really happy with that, and I do like the interior illumination of this car. It's pretty good. I'm happy with the extra upgrades I've added. So I'm back at base. My puddle lights are working. Well, I've had a really good outing to Pi Performance. Now we had a little twist in the tail, didn't we? Because having coded the left and right hand door, by the way, they're back to front in P-Wis, links and rechts being left and right or right and left, because in Germany the driver sits on the other side. That wasn't the problem. The problem was we knew this door was working, we could see the light was on, the other side had been code enabled, didn't come on. I swapped the bulb from this side into that door then worked, so we knew that the problem was with that bulb. I thought it had broken, but Bradley, a man who's clearly done this before, he said, have you tried turning the bulb around? How does that work? They slot in one of two ways, and it turns out it's asymmetric. So I plugged it back into this one, having just rotated it 180 and slid it back into sort of the bayonet type fitting. It's not a bayonet, but it kind of is, and blow me down, it worked. So we've come home not with the need to buy a spare bulb, but with two puddle lights working. I'm really chuffed. Job's been a good. So it's been a good outing to Pi. It's taken a little bit longer than planned, but we had the door cut off, the wire loom fitted, and now they're working, and it adds a little bit more character to my car. If you fancy watching another lighting video, and this one is worth doing because you don't have to code enable it, it's to add the footwell lights. Do scroll back through the videos to look for that. But in the meantime, as ever, thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.